Hello everyone, LRon here with part 4 of my Destiny 2 free trial run. So yeah, in addition to these guys having different color schemes, they generally seem to be a lot more nimble than the people that attacked us. Um, like the the other group was very militant and, power armor heavy. And these guys, are like wearing rags and, do, jumps and actually try to punch me. And, use halberds sometimes. Yeah, it turns out these guys are called the Fallen. The lore that I eventually learned about them is that these guys used to be guardians at some past point. But then the Traveler, that weird moon thing that guardians worship, the ones that Groot and his buddy called a machine, that thing essentially gives powers to people that it selects. And that's how guardians are made. And supposedly the Fallen was a species that once had, the right to be guardians, but then the Traveler decided that, they're not good enough, or he did something to piss off the Traveler or something. But regardless of the circumstances, they are pretty messed up. Like, I wonder if that's gonna be us, if the Traveler decides to not like us anymore, and we'll be, nut jobs as well. I guess as a schizophrenic, I'm already a nut job, but who cares?
I think we
And
scared them.
those weird, like, 12-sided die things, those are gear. So that's armor and weapons. Alright. So, what just happened there is we got our light back, which basically means the Traveler's power that he bestows on Guardians has returned. And my ultimate has changed. Looks like I am now fire-based instead of void-based. That kind of annoys me, because that weird sword thing is far less impressive compared to the void grenade thing. But a cool thing about this fight is if we stand in these little pools of light, we get to use our ult very often. So I'm kind of just messing around, flailing this stuff around like it's nothing. So I guess the moral of the story is when Groot put the cage around that moon thing that calls itself the Traveler, it made it so that all the Guardians lost their powers. But this thing that we brought the ghost to, I guess, is a fallen off fragment that's separate from the Traveler. So basically, it'd be as if, a part of the moon splintered off and, fell onto Earth. And, because it's outside of the cage, it can still provide the Traveler's favor. So that's why we now have our powers back. At least that's how I try to wrap my head around it. It looks like I've leveled up. First I'm going to deal with some stuff here. Okay, so now I've got this healing rift. And now we're back at the farm. And, okay. So now the farm will be populated with people. And I have the right to play with others and play against others if I so desire. Probably won't get into PvP anytime soon. Certainly not in this cohort, because I know that I didn't do that. But looks like the PvP guy wants to talk to me. Blah 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 blah. This was actually the guy that opened the door for me in the tutorial. Okay, so now he gave me a quest to go play PvP. But I'm going to talk to Hawk Girl instead. Alright. So, basically, she congratulates me for getting my light back, and basically says, hey, put it to good use. There's this buddy of mine over in this other part of Earth that can use my help. So, we come over, and we're going to see what this story is. Looks like he is holed up in the tower of this church. Alright, and I've got my thrusters back, so it looks like the light that was restored from that traveler fragment is like a full package deal. So I can resurrect again, I've got powers, and I've got my good jump. And so he gave me a new shell for the ghost. It makes it so that chests that are close by while on this planet will show up with a indicator that's very blatantly obvious.
Get started. There's a banner on the main floor. Give it a look, will you?
Alright, and so looks like I'm doing a quest here. They want us to look at some banner. Okay.
This is a fallen house sigil.
And
Don't recognize it though.
Nor I.
I'm not really sure why we bother looking at that banner. It doesn't really end up doing much. Like, it's got a similar banner up there ahead, but we don't really focus in on it anymore. They have us now go loot a chest inside this building, and then loot a chest that's a bit more of a pain to get to than this one. Alright. So then we get some of that blue stuff and some tokens.
Speaking of the wilds, there's a symbol on the wall of the church. Take a look.
Alright. So let's see, the map marker finally showed up. Might as well kill a few enemies while we're at it. Okay. And, I see. So,
Where did this symbol come from?
I believe your city
if you try to sprint while you're in the middle of reloading, you'll interrupt the reload.
to mark something special or dangerous.
And that symbol I just stared at, that translates to Lost Sector. So basically, it's a out-of-the-way offshoot that involves some running and then fighting some stuff, and then after killing a boss, loot its special chest that's locked until you kill the boss. Alright. And something I've been noticing is when you hit an enemy in its weak spot and do critical damage, the number that lights up is going to be yellow instead of white. So when you see the yellow numbers, you know you're shooting the right spot in the body to get optimal damage. That's it for this video. I'll see you next video.